Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today we're doing something so excited. Oh my god. I got a key for the demo of InZoi, so I can already start playing. So the first video I want to make is basically I want to compare the character creation of The Sims 4 and InZoi at the same time because there are some major differences. So bear with me because it's my first time using InZoi too. I'm gonna put the comparisons side by side so you can really see the difference. So in both games you have presets of the face that you can change. What I noticed in The Sims is that it kind of has a bit of the same face syndrome, and in InZoi, you really create a different Zoi every single time if you change the preset. As you can see, if you go for the more realistic side of InZoi, there's just so much more you can do than the cartoonish style of The Sims, because that's always gonna look a bit of the same thing. So the next part we're gonna talk about is skin details. So in InZoi and in Sims, you have different skin details that you can apply. You have moles, you have scars, you have these birthmarks. And with Sims, it's all pretty basic. So you can change the color of the birthmark that I'm doing right now on the left. But in InZoi, you can change it completely in the color that you prefer. So you can even make it blue and make it like some sort of face paint. If you take a look at the scars that you can apply, InZoi and Sims are kind of similar in this compartment. There are not many options in either of them, but InZoi is going for the more realistic parts on the scars again, and Sims is going for the more cartoonish one. So the next part that I want to talk about is teeth. In InZoi, you cannot change the teeth of your Zois. In Sims, you do have some options. Not that many, but you do have different variations that you can choose from in your creation of your sim. You can go for gold teeth, crooked teeth, you even have mermaid teeth. You have braces for teenagers, which is all very fun and can make some variation in your gameplay, which is a positive thing about Sims 4. So what I want to discuss next is how you can change the face in InZoi and in Sims 4. So with InZoi, you see that you have these little dots on the face that present what you are changing exactly, while in The Sims it highlights the body part that you're going to change, which can sometimes be a bit confusing because sometimes I don't really understand what I'm changing exactly. Well, with InZoi it's kind of the same thing because there are so many dots and it can be overwhelming. Yeah, there's just so much more that you can change in InZoi, so it's also sometimes very confusing, but I think once you get the hang of it, that it will make a huge change in the character creation. You can even change the lashes, how long they are or how low they are. It's insane. In InZoi, you have basic editing and detailed editing, and with detailed editing, the dots just multiply. And you can change so much more. It's like you can change every single little detail on the face, and that can be quite overwhelming, I must say, but a fun aspect of the game. Now we are going to look at eyebrow presets. So The Sims has a lot more options than InZoi. As you can see, Sims has more like a variety of thicker brows and like very thin brows, but InZoi has the variety of more hairs or like less hairs. They also have like a variety where you can shave a little bit out of it, which is also a really fun detail. So I feel like InZoi can improve a bit more on the presets that they have on the eyebrows, so we can have more options, but obviously you can change them yourself, like the shape. So then we are going to look at the eyes, and as you can see, Sims has presets for different eye shapes, while InZoi doesn't have that. They only you can only change the color of the eyes, but changing the color of the eyes goes in way more detail. You can change every single color of the eyes, like your iris or the outside of your eye, or like the inside, like with the stars. So you can change the color of the stars, and it has some very different options for, like, as you can see, you have stars in the eyes, you have cat eyes, you have like as if you are wearing contact lenses. It's really cool. And with InZoi, you can also change the lashes. So you can choose, like, if you want to have long lashes, short lashes, if you want really thick volume in your lashes, which is very cool. I just wish there were presets for eyes as well, so we don't have to do everything ourselves to change the eye, because sometimes it can be a bit difficult for a lot of people playing this game. So with Sims, you have different presets of forehead, cheeks, lips, nose, anything part of the face, chin, like the jawline. With InZoi, you don't have that. You actually have sliders to change the face. So as you can see, you can change how visible the cheekbones are. You can change the jawline. You can change like the smile lines. You can change the eye bags. You can even change the glow on the face of your Zoi, which is also really cool and really fun, and it can give a big variety to your Zoi characters. But personally, I like the presets of The Sims more, even though there's not a lot of variety in the presets that they offer. I feel like it's easier for me and for a lot of people that play this game to just have presets, so you can change it a bit easier than just a slider. It just makes the change more accessible, I feel like. So if we are going to look at the hair, I put it on base game so that we can only see the base game hair that we got without any packs to make it fair. We see that we have a lot of options on Sims 4. Once again, Sims 4 goes for the cartoonish style, which honestly, I'm not mad about it. I like it. It fits the Sims aesthetic. With InZoi, you do have the more realistic styles, and this is actually hair that you could see in real life, that you could see people wearing on the street, which I really like. And Sims is kind of, you can see Sims or people wear this on the street as well, but it's more in the cartoonish style, like I said, which is totally okay. But with InZoi, you can change the color way more in detail. There's 5 different options to change color in this hair. I noticed it's not in all of the hairs, but in most of them. It's such a cool feature that the Sims can learn from, in my opinion. So like Sims, you have different options to wear. You have everyday, you have sportswear, sleepwear. Unlike Sims, you don't need a season's expansion pack for hot weather and cold weather in InZoi, which I do like a lot because it's ridiculous, let's be honest. So with InZoi, again, you have a lot of clothing that you can see people wear in real life. I feel like they really inspired themselves on clothing, different styles people are currently wearing right now, which I really like. And you can wear jackets, guys. You can put jackets on top of your clothing. I love this so much. Thank you, InZoi. Yeah, that's 2 of the major differences that I see from Sims and InZoi right now. It's just, yeah, Sims goes for the cartoonish style, but I feel like in the cartoonish style, they still can make it more like clothing that you could see on the street, and they sometimes make just ridiculous things. So one last thing that I want to highlight in InZoi is the amazing feature that you can craft your own t-shirt, your own necklaces, your own watches. It's insane. There are different options to create the own shirt that you like. You don't have to rely on custom content creators or the crafting people to create the shirt that you would love in game. You can just create it yourself. Like, look at that. You can change the necklace, you can change the little chain on it. It's crazy. I love this game so much, and I'm so excited to see what they will do in the future with it. So here's the conclusion of the biggest differences between The Sims 4 and InZoi. The Sims 4 has preset focused with click and drag sculpting, cartoony stylized graphics, limited sliders for small details, and many pre-made hairstyles, makeup, and outfits. While InZoi is a ultra-realistic graphics with high detailed textures game, advanced sliders for individual face parts like the eyelids and nostrils, etc., realistic skin tones and imperfections like freckles, veins, and pores, and more clothing customization including fabric textures and patterns. The Sims 4 is great for quick and fun character creation, while InZoi is for those who love deep customization and realism. So that was my first video comparing InZoi to Sims 4. I am planning to compare the build mode as well and try to make a sim in InZoi and the other way around. So if you want to see that, make sure to like and subscribe to not miss a video in the future. See you in the next one. Bye!